Wow, what a gorgeous and amazing turnout we have tonight here in Aggieland for the grand opening of the Bush Presidential Library and to honor former President George Bush and his gorgeous wife, Barbara. Thank you all for coming out. I was completely honored when I received the phone call from George about being able to speak tonight as well as to attend this amazing event. George and I, all the stories I could tell you about that man and about his wife and the family, but I definitely want to give honor to the man that he is, the family that they have built and that they love dearly, as well as, the political prowess that he had in his career. So, and then of course we're going to talk about his socks. So, it's a growing collection. What can we say? So, George was born in 1924 in Massachusetts to Preston and Dorothy, his mom. Preston, his father, was a senator at the time. And on his 18th birthday, he was so eager to join in World War II that he enlisted in the Navy and became the youngest naval pilot during the war. 3 years later, he finally married the love of his life. They just celebrated, I don't even know anymore, because they married in 1945. He married Barbara. And 3 years after that, he graduated from Yale with a bachelor's in economics. And this should come as no surprise to any Aggie that has seen him throw out a pitch at a baseball game. He was the captain of Yale's baseball team. They eventually would have a total of 6 kids. You have W. God rest her, Robin. They have John, who everybody calls Jeb. Neil, Marvin, and Dorothy. And to this day, this family is still growing. And I love that I get to see it and get to be a part of it. His political career is just so inspiring. It started at an early age. He became the Harris County Republican Party chairman in '63. A few years later, he served 2 terms as the Texas representative in the House of Representatives, as well as in 1980 running for the Republican presidential nominee, which he actually ended up losing to Ronald Reagan. However, Reagan was so impressed with his political prowess and sorry, I got so invoked in talking about him, I forgot to move my slides. So Reagan was so impressed, he ended up actually putting Bush on as his vice president, and Vice President Bush served both terms with Reagan, and then he ran again and became the 41st president of the United States. There was a plethora of political and government jobs in between the time he served in the Senate to the time that he served as president, but that all ties into the legacy that has become President Bush and his Bush and the family. So you have W, that's currently the governor of Texas. You got Jeb, who's running for the governor of Florida. He and Barbara are involved in a plethora of human services events in Houston and the surrounding areas, as well as spending time with the 14 grandchildren and the 7 great-grandchildren, as well as opening the library and museum that is dedicated to the 2 of them today. And then you have the sock collection. So many folks always know about the man's sock collection. He loves showing them off. He even has a pair of his own, which crack me up, and his granddaughter Jenna thinks is hysterical. And you can even see when he attends events at A&M that he's always in respectable maroon and white and always whooping right along with the Yell leaders. So this has been an absolute honor and means the world to me. So thank you for your time. Thank you, Mr. President and Barbara. Before I finish up, does anybody have any questions before they start playing the music and get me off the stage?
I have a question.
What's your question?
Do you have an estimate of how many pairs of socks he has in his collection?
Honestly, I don't know anymore because the collection's so big. I don't even think he or Barbara could tell you.
What do you think is the most impactful moment, or I guess, what has he done that you think is the most impactful for us as a nation?
Out of all of it, I would say probably the biggest would be starting the Gulf War and really kind of going after Saddam Hussein. So, sorry, they're playing the music. Thank you. Thank you again for this great honor. Have a wonderful evening and enjoy the Bush Library.